Now we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of what Indians are all about.
I still say we Indian people are believers in the truth. This is the way of life that was given to your people. You're born an Indian, you're going to die an Indian. Indianness is a good life. You're facing an Indian this afternoon.
Good afternoon out there, everyone. I'm Jason Salzman.
And I'm Neely Soodle.
And you're watching your #1 source for Native American television news.
Native News Today.
That's right, Neely, and we have a great episode for you this weekend, folks. We are going to show you a little bit of an edited version, but the 2015 Muskogee Creek Nation State of the Nation address.
Yes, Chief George Tiger gave his address, and it was like 40 minutes long, so we have cut this down, so you'll be able to see that a little bit later.
Yes, and if you want to watch it in its entirety, it's on our YouTube channel. Just go to our YouTube channel, go to our Facebook page, just search Native News Today, it'll take you right there. You can see that speech in its entirety. And also, we have a really special guest after we take this first break coming up. We have Merlin Little Thunder. He is a Southern Cheyenne painter, and he's on the planning committee of the Tulsa Indian Art Festival, a great festival which is coming up this next week. So after this very first break here, don't go anywhere because we'll be right back in studio with Merlin talking about this year's Tulsa Indian Art Festival. You're watching Native News Today.
Danielsen ogitskish, bonshongi benoat, bomio, boshomizatlish.
Momesh, Harishongigo imongin, Hobidagi ani omaga, Bomahahoye imongin oma bonshomegigosh. For more information about Muskogee language preservation, please call us at 918-732-7724.
We believe if you teach a man to fish, you can feed him for a lifetime. We believe that transitioning convicted citizens back into our communities enhances public safety. We believe that every citizen, even ex-prisoners, are important and are capable of change. We believe in reclaiming our citizens and investing them back into a culture that embraces healing and restoration.
We believe
In reintegration.
And welcome back to Native News Today. Jason Salzman along with Neely Soodle, and we have a special guest with us in studio now, Mr. Merlin Little Thunder. He is a Southern Cheyenne painter, and he is on the planning committee for the Tulsa Indian Art Festival, one of the biggest festivals in the country, and it's starting next week. So Merlin, thanks for being with us in the studio today.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. Now, this festival is known throughout the country, as we said. A lot of artists come to Tulsa to put their work on display, but you've actually been a part of the festival for a long time as an artist and now on the planning committee, but this has been a part of your life for a long time.
Yeah, I started back in the early 90s, maybe 1990, because for the reason that I stayed out of it from the very beginnings, because I handled 8 galleries from coast to coast in the United States, and they were always pushing me to paint for them. And they told me, you don't have time for booth shows, you don't have time for outside activities. And finally, as time went on and some of these galleries started to thin out, and I had more time to do outside shows, to do booth shows. So back in 1998, I was one of their feature artists, one of their poster artists.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where now that we see all kinds of artists from around here and that are honored as the featured artists, whether they be sculptors, painters, things like that. Can you describe your style of painting and some of the things that are kind of you hang your hat on?
Well, my style was more of a realistic style. I got away from the flat two-dimensional. I think in the beginning, all of us did flat two-dimensional, but over the time, I got away from that because I wanted to put our people back in their environment.
Right.
Because that's where we came from. This is our environment.
Yes, absolutely.
Tell me what inspires you when you go to create something. What inspires you?
I read the paper in the morning.
Oh, wow.
And then the paper in the morning always tells us the things that happened a long time ago, like history repeats itself. And you always say, oh yeah, I remember that, but it happened a different way back then. So that's always the inspirational point,
And it's kind of your interpretation, the way you see it.
Right.
Yeah, that's correct.
And what kind of things are we going to be seeing from you at this show, at this art show?
Well, you're going to see mostly Native American life the way it was way back then. And you'll kind of see a blend of today and yesterday, you know, like contemporary today versus back then. The way we did it back then and the way we do it now, you know, kind of an update on everything, you know.
A mixture of everything.
Yeah, a mixture of everything.
That's a great example of the art festival itself, Merlin, too, because not only do you have painters, sculptors, people that are doing Kachina dolls, things like that, a great mix of artists, but also it's not just an art festival. There's many different things that are happening. I think a gospel singing. Just tell us about some of the things that'll happen at this.
Oh yeah, we're having a gospel singing on February 8th, and then even prior to that, we're having the stomp dance over there on Friday night. It's hosted by Duck Creek, and we're also having a princess dance on Saturday. Our outgoing princess is having a dance, and we're going to install a new princess during the festival. Premiere night, Friday night.
It's a little bit of everything, it seems like. You know, you don't just, a lot of people will come, of course, to see the art. I know that's one of the things I love about it. But like you said, there's a little bit of something for everybody. And some food, too. Good food.
Oh, yeah, good food. Yeah, it's kind of like a community outreach. You know, we're trying to involve everybody, the whole community. We try to bring them all together and you know, get them to participate in this festival because, you know, as a Native people, we're people of celebration.
Sure.
We celebrate everything. You know,
Yes,
when
absolutely.
a newborn is brought into the world, we celebrate the birth of that newborn.
Yes. And together, everybody comes
together.
together. Yes.
We all eat together and we all have a good time.
For sure.
And how many years does this make this?
I think
know
this
it's
is
an annual thing.
29 years, I
Wow.
think.
29 years you've been
29
doing
years.
it. So what do you think, is there anything different that is coming to this year's show?
Well, the different thing that's coming into this show is we're going to have a fashion show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
we're going to have a fashion show this
Wonderful.
year. And then, of course, our student art, we always have student art. We encourage all the students to come and exhibit their art, and they have awards, and they're able to sell their works during the festival over there.
I tell you what, you can't see it because her hair's down. But when you said fashion show, Neely's ears perked up.
Oh.
That's her cup of tea. She may be in that actually.
Yeah,
So we want to check that out. So this is going on next week. And at what actually day does the art show start there?
It starts on the 13th,
Okay.
Friday night through Saturday and Sunday.
Great. And it's at the Glenpool Conference Center. Fairly new place there, real big, nice, and you can't miss it there, right off Highway 75. So it's, you guys are glad to be in that new space.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful space. They've been real gracious to us, and they've been really, really helpful. And we rent the whole place out during the weekend.
Great.
The whole building.
Awesome. Well, it's going to be a real big hub for Native artists, Native people in general, lots of things going on. And Merlin, we certainly thank you for stopping by with us in studio today to pub this great festival, and we can't wait to see some of your paintings.
Oh, thank you.
I might even have to buy one.
Oh,
Or if you want to donate one, that's fine
there
too.
you go.
We'll put it up right back here.
yeah, that works too.
All right. Well, thank you so
Yeah,
much
thank
for
you.
being on the
Thanks for having
program
me.
with us. You bet.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we're going to take this to a break now, and don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the Muskogee Creek Nation State of the Nation address. You're watching Native News Today.
Looking for your next 18-hole adventure? Then take a look at Fountainhead Creek Golf Club. Nestled in the beautiful confines of Lake Eufaula State Park, large sloping greens and well-placed bunkers characterize the Muskogee Creek Nation's Floyd Farley designed course and offers a fine test of skill for any golfer. Stay up on all the latest gear and equipment with a visit to our pro shop. Have lunch at the Turn at the Clubhouse Grill. We're waiting to accommodate you at Fountainhead Creek. Give us a call at 918-689-3209 or visit fountainheadgolf.com to book your next round. Fountainhead Creek Golf Club, close to home, far from ordinary.
And welcome back to Native News Today. I'm Neely Sudel along with Jason Salzman. A great weekend and a great weekend for the State of the Nation 2015. Principal Chief gave his mandated address to a full audience there and a lot of topics that came out on that.
Big time audience at the Mound Auditorium, not only in number, but in stature in the state of Oklahoma. We had former Governor Brad Henry in attendance, Principal Chief Bill John Baker, and the First Lady of the Cherokee Nation. I don't know if Bill John's going to be running for our chief position anytime soon. I think you have to be Creek, yeah. But from the Cherokee Nation there, and also state representatives, J.C. Watts in the House. A lot of people showed up for Chief State of the Nation address. He outlined all kinds of success for the nation. We can't wait to show you that here, but also talked a little bit about the future and what we can expect and the aggressive tone that his administration has put forward in getting partnerships and things like that. So, the 2015 State of the Nation.
Momen hara nita sahilersen bombal hoyen. Odot kidok fatsa agithetska. Yahayoin nagafti. Chimadot kidan agithezit sokfats feji biari kon chihoma huiten dues. Ahaga hutchidon. Momen Mikodat. Isti maskagagi merot kida. Sokfat fejia. Okit kichede dondos. Ahagada magidondo. To our Muskogee citizens, Second Chief Hicks, Speaker Yahola, Second Chief Huff, Second Speaker Huff, got your promotion. Members of the National Council, Justices of Supreme Court, Judges of our District Court, our relatives, friends, and honored guests. The Muskogee Way is a very sacred theme that has served this administration and is paramount in respecting the ways of our elders, our tradition and culture, the ways our children and generations that will follow are what is considered our way. That we always honor those ways is our will and desire, and this State of the Nation represents the strides we have made to assure our continuation of the Muskogee Way. The purpose this morning is to report to you in the State of the Nation, as mandated by the Constitution of the Great Muskogee Creek Nation. Our progress and success over this past calendar year with the support of our National Council. We made a commitment to our citizens that we would be aggressive and progressive, and that status quo is no longer acceptable. I have heard from hundreds of citizens, near and far, who are excited in the accomplishments of this nation. We have continued to use the dominant themes of peoplehood and nationhood to achieve success as a self-sufficient tribal sovereign. It is a fact this administration, the previous and current legislature, has exercised sovereignty to its fullest with initiatives implemented to improve and expand services to the tribal citizens that we all share. This morning, my State of the Nation will be very simple. The emphasis was to use our resources, our most valuable resource, and that's our citizens, our employees, the financial means, and working in a unified effort as elected officials to invest in ourselves as a nation. The Muskogee Creek Nation is strong as ever. Prior to coming into office, I commissioned a survey. It reflected citizens wanted and needed expanded health care. The former Okmulgee Memorial Hospital was purchased by assuming its debt of more than $5 million. No funds was appropriated by this council. No funds came from the treasurer of this great nation. Today, I'm pleased to report the assumed debt in just 11 months now stands at less than $70,000. Whether we want to accept it or not as tribal government, we're a business. Historically, as Muskogee Creek Nation, we've been successful in business. We're corporate. We're almost, just a little over, I should say, a $500 million corporation. We just happen to be a tribal government. In our health care, we're providing much needed and expanded health care to all of our citizens. The former George Nye Physical Rehab Center, one of the best in the country, was purchased through investments funds that was saved from third-party collections, not from the Muskogee Creek Nation Treasury. That is how we were able to purchase that facility. A new Express Care Clinic was opened in Okmulgee, the very first tribally owned and operated dialysis center. Began operations at the Coweta Clinic. And our plans is to add others to our centers as we update those facilities. The very first MRI unit is being completed here in Okmulgee. A service at one time that was contracted out will now allow savings of those funds to be used within our health system. The installation of electronic health record for hospital and clinics that puts us in compliance with the mandated policy for all hospitals and clinics throughout the country. A home health program has been required. We purchased a DME for easier access to supplies for our citizens. Increased third-party collections this year was $22 million. The goal next year is 25 to 30 million. The addition of additional services such as a chiropractor, an orthopedic, a surgeon, 2 full-time podiatrists, wound care program, an orthodontist, and currently negotiations are going on for oral surgeon and pediatric dentists. We just recently acquired accreditation for the Okemah Hospital and waiting to receive accreditation for our clinics. We just finalized funding for the new hospital in Okemah and the new Eufaula Clinic. That clinic in Eufaula is a joint venture with Indian Health Service, and we anticipate breaking ground in the next 2 months for that facility. And with these success stories, the Muskogee Creek Nation, I believe, has an excellent start in achieving the wishes of our citizens, and that is improving and expanding our health services. In the Department of Interior Affairs, Realty Trust Service processed 64 acres of land from fee to trust status, further enhancing our sovereignty and jurisdiction. With the nation's lobbyists working with the nation's lobbyists and approvals granted on 38 of 64 pending applications with 12 to 15 additional parcels scheduled for approval. Oil and Gas negotiated and executed a oil and gas agreement. Very historic. That's a first since 1898 and surpassing previous federal standards and benefits to this Muskogee Creek Nation. Muskogee Creek Nation has a Conservation Commission, and recently they signed a memorandum of agreement with the United States Department of Agriculture to better serve restricted landowners and put allotted lands back into production. This essentially creates direct funding opportunities for various programs that will aid our Muskogee landowners.
Okay, our first segment there, and Neely, you know, he comes right off the bat with some heavy-hitting stuff, really some of the stuff that Chief Tiger wants the citizens to know, that we're going to continue to be aggressive, getting partnerships, getting business ventures, but also one of the main things for our people is health, and he covered that too. You know, we've had some things open up this year.
That's right, and there is countless things that the Creek Nation has done in the way of health, and one of them is the Okemah Hospital that's going to be built over there.
Yeah,
and
we
they've already broke ground in May or June.
I think it was June, maybe.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah. But it was this year for sure.
That's right, and a lot of things. They have the new MRI going
Clinic.
and available, and the urgent care
Yes,
that
yes.
just opened, and
Yes.
I know they've been receiving a lot of business there. And
Absolutely.
just so much in health.
Very much, and very much needed services, and things that he definitely wanted to point out. And I think he did that in this first segment, and now we'll get to the conclusion.
Much of the success that I've shared with you this morning has been in contexts such as transparency, going paperless, tremendous savings in all facets of our operation. There have been a lot of firsts and recognition given to the Muskogee Creek Nation on its accomplishments on a local, state, and national levels. This nation will continue to seek economic development and improve services and programs. These accomplishments came to fruition because of the ability to work hand in hand, together, all of us. Traditionally, culturally, it's the Muskogee way. The future of our nation is bright. Progress should never be delayed. When progress is delayed, history is delayed. In closing, the Muskogee way has never failed us. We gain strength from those before us who set the foundation for future generations. Now, those of us who lead this nation must continue the journey for our following generations. The oath we took as elected officials to uphold our Constitution remains as solid as ever. It directs our journey and continues to serve as a pillar for our government. While 2014 was a great progressive year, there were challenges as well. Other challenges lie before us. With each new challenge, this nation has a proven record that we overcome them by working in a unified manner. In 2014, some of us, as elected officials, were able to return to the homelands of our ancestors to pay homage to those who fought and gave the ultimate sacrifice for our rights as Muskogee. Our language, our tradition, and culture no longer exist there. Our traditional church hymns and ceremonial songs echoed off the tall, long-leaf pine trees at Horseshoe Bend. And it was described by a tribal member how the trees seemed to sway to the beautiful rhythms and songs. Just as it did for our forefathers, adversity strengthens us. But more importantly, unity solidifies us. Their spirits and the spirit of those who served in the House of Kings and House of Warriors still stand with us today. On the return trip from our homelands, we brought some of our forefathers, foremothers, and children home with us. Some of you that took pictures, you know what I'm talking about. And some of the pictures that were taken, there were images of our warriors from Horseshoe Bend. There were images of those women that stood beside those warriors. And there were images of those children that didn't know what was held for them in the future. We pay homage to them by continuing their vision with our display of unity and setting the foundation for future generations. Moment, okit kichkada. Istimasko galgi madot kida okfatsan. Okit keja. Agiteska Oja. Ajologidat. Ai Mongachi. Ai Mongachi. Not my hogas. Snunkles. Ai Mongachi. Our elders used to say that all of us, individually, as elected officials, collectively, as elected officials, we're going to be challenged every day. But those old ones used to say, keep on going. Keep on going. The Uchis have a beautiful song they sing. And that's what they say. Don't look back. Just keep going. Just keep going. I look forward in this calendar year to continue the progress as a nation, as elected officials, because our future is bright. May God bless America. May God bless the state of Oklahoma. And may a sovereign God continue to bless the sovereign Muskogee Creek Nation. Thank you very much.
All right, that'll do it for another episode of Native News Today. We certainly hope that you enjoyed hearing the State of the Nation address. And as I want to remind you folks again, you can hear that address in its entirety on our YouTube channel. So just go on there and click on State of the Nation, and you can watch the entire address. Also want to thank Merlin Little Thunder for stopping in the studio with us, talking about Tulsa Indian Art Festival. And Neely, you and I, we've had a busy day. We're not only on the set here doing TV, we did a little radio earlier too.
That's right. And we did an interview over this, you know, our new set, our new format, and me joining the set, and you and the history about Native News Today. So tune in to that interview.
Definitely. That'll be this weekend. Chief's Inside Muskogee Creek Nation radio show. So,
I was co-host and you were our guest today.
I was the special guest. Yeah,
That's right.
yeah, right. I don't know how special, but I was a guest.
And we ran out of time. There's so much to talk about
know.
with a lot of things that we're doing here.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're statewide. And have an All Creek cast here.
All Creek team, All Creek crew, everything. It's great. And it's a wonderful thing. We love the fact that we were the first to do this, and we're still going strong after all this time. So got some big things coming up next week, too. You went over and we highlighted the new Student Center of the College of Muskogee Nation. So.
Yeah, that's the latest addition to the Creek Nation, and they dedicated it a couple of weeks ago. But we take you inside and kind of show you what the, you know, what the students can look forward to, and, you know, a lot of the staff there, too.
Yeah, that and a lot more next week. So don't always tune into us there on Saturdays, Sundays. We'll see you guys next week, and always check us out on Facebook, YouTube. We're always out there.